overdrafts, loans and credit cards. In this video we're going to look at what these types of borrowing are and what they might be used for. So there are different types of borrowing that can be used, and the type of borrowing that you use will depend on the circumstance you're faced with. For example, maybe you're going to buy a new car, or maybe you want to buy some concert tickets, or maybe even you've just got to pay a bill. Whatever the item or the circumstance you're faced with, that will depend on what sort of borrowing is available to you. So let's take a look at one of the first types of borrowing, and that is an overdraft. Now it's important to remember that an overdraft is a short-term loan that allows a customer to borrow money to extend their bank account limit. If you look at the example down below, you can see that in my case I had an opening balance of £0, so I had no money at the start of the month. In that month I had £1,000 that went in, but I actually had to pay out £1,100. So my closing balance is actually minus 100, and the OD letter means that I am now overdrawn. Effectively, the bank has lent me their money so that I could make those payments out that I need to make, and obviously next month they'll claw that back with interest. Now it's really important to remember that overdrafts are a short-term loan because they have a high APR, annual percentage rate, typically around 40%. Now I would have to pay that £100 back plus obviously any interest. Now remember, the annual interest is obviously calculated yearly, but obviously I'm going to hopefully borrow that for a short period of time. These though are really beneficial if you've got to try and pay a bill and you know you're going to be paid in the future. So I know I'm going to be due to get another £1,000 in my bank account, so that makes sense to use my overdraft. It gives me the ability to obviously pay bills and pay debts, for example, with the knowing that I'm going to get money in. This would not be used though to pay something when I know that I can't pay. So these are short-term uses of money, able to solve a liquidity problem. Now, another form of borrowing is a bank loan. Now, a bank loan is a longer-term loan that allows a customer to purchase expensive items and repay them over a period of time. So in my example here, you can see that that car is for sale for £10,000. Now, I wouldn't use an overdraft to pay for that, but what I might do is I might borrow money from the bank so that I have a longer period of time to pay for it. In my example, I'm going to take a loan out which gives me 60 months worth of repayments. Remember though, I have to pay £10,000 back plus interest. Now loans typically have a lower APR than you fee with an overdraft, around 10%. But remember, you're borrowing it over a longer period of time, so it will be more expensive. To highlight that point, if I borrowed £10,000 at 9.9% APR, which is about the current rate you can find from banks at the moment, for 60 months, that car would actually cost me £12,594.46 when I paid for it. However, it would mean that I can make smaller payments to be able to acquire that item. So there's one of the benefits of taking out a loan. It lets you have expensive items and obviously pay for them over a longer period of time. Of course, you need to be able to keep up the repayments. If you're not able to do that, then the item can be repossessed from you, and then you would lose obviously anything you paid on that item to start with. So bank loans are really good for purchases which are more expensive and you can pay for over a longer period of time. Now, the final form of borrowing that I'm going to look at in this video is a credit card. Now, a credit card is a quick and easy solution to allow larger purchases to be made, typically with the ability to make smaller repayments every single month. Now, credit cards do come with an advantage. Section 75 of the Consumer Credit Act. Basically, that states that if your purchase is between £100 to £30,000, it is protected under that regulation. What that regulation actually means, and what a credit card does with its protection, is that because the money that's being used on the credit card to buy those tickets is not yours. If you think about that, that £400 for those tickets I want to buy is actually the credit card company's money. And that means that if those tickets don't arrive, it's the credit card company that loses out and not me. That quite clearly, I expect to pay the credit card company for the tickets to come and they haven't arrived, so that's not my problem. And Section 75 gives you that protection. Now, credit cards typically have an interest rate of around 20%. Now, you get a choice of credit cards. You can either make basically a full amount, a full repayment. Or you can do what's called the minimum repayment, and you pay off a smaller amount, and then you would incur interest on any remaining balances that you've got. But credit cards do allow that advantage of getting yourself something to be purchased fairly straightforward, fairly simple, fairly quickly. So let's have a look at how some different factors influence your choice. So if we're looking at time frames, overdrafts tend to be really short term, covering a temporary liquidity problem that you might have. Where a credit card is also short term, but it enables you to make a purchase of an expensive item, hopefully for a quick repayment the next month, or at least you can stagger the repayments. Where a bank loan tends to be a medium or longer term option, and it allows you to purchase more expensive items. Now when we look at annual percentage rate or APR, an overdraft tends to be an APR of around 40%, where a credit card tends to be an APR of around 20%, and a bank loan tends to have an APR around 10%. But remember, you are paying that 10% on the bank loan for a much longer period of time than you would be on an overdraft. So, which are easy to obtain or not? Well, an overdraft is fairly easy to obtain because if you've got a bank current account, then it's normally a fairly quick and simple request with your provider, and they'll normally give you an overdraft limit. Credit cards tend to be a fairly simple process because there's lots of providers. You can even go online now. However, you do have to complete an application form and have to be approved. So if you've got a poor credit score, then it may be that this impacts what credit cards you can get, if you can get any at all. Bank loans tend to be a bit more complex. You have to fill in an application form. You tend to have to provide evidence that you can make those repayments. You may even have to give security, so in other words, guarantees that you can meet the repayments. And also you might have to even state what you want the loan for. So the bank loan is probably the most complex to obtain out of the three. So how much can you actually lend? Well, overdrafts tend to be limited and based on your financial profile. But if you do some research, you'll find that the typical figure for an overdraft tends to go up to £2,000. A credit card tends to, again, is based on your financial profile and your credit score. But apparently, according to research, the typical credit card limit is around £4,000 for a customer. Whereas bank accounts and bank loans tend to be based on your financial profile again, but this time they tend to be around £10,000 on average that they lend out. So you can see the amount that's borrowed is actually considerably greater in a bank loan than in an overdraft. But that's exactly what we talked about, short term to long term. So this is an interesting one. Does it protect your purchases? Well, we know that with a credit card, yes, because we've already talked about Section 75 of the Consumer Credit Act. And we know about how that protects purchases. But actually, with the overdraft and the bank loan, no, it doesn't. You use that money that you've got just like it's your own. So there are no extra protections that are given to you in this case. Remember, the credit card protects it because it's actually somebody else's money that's purchasing the product that you're buying. So, let's have a little quiz. Which source of finance would you use for the following situations? Purchasing an extension for your home, paying for a new mobile phone, paying a supplier with a few days before the customer's going to pay you, and paying for a holiday booking. Pause the video now while you write down some answers, and then unpause while I go through the answers. Okay, so purchasing an extension for your home is most likely going to be a bank loan because you're going to try and pay for it perhaps so it's a large purchase over a longer period of time. Paying for a new mobile phone, you may wish to do that with a credit card. The reason why, remember, Section 75 does protect you. Believe it or not, it's technically insured as well if you just walk out of that shop and drop it before you've actually paid the credit card company for the item. Don't get too carried away with that. There is a lot more technicality to that, but Section 75 would be probably a useful thing for when you're buying a new mobile phone. Paying a supplier a few days before a customer pays you, well, quite simply, that's going to be using your overdraft. And paying for a holiday booking is an interesting one. Some people might take out a loan. This is a fair answer because it's a large amount of money and they want to pay for it over a period of time. But I would imagine most people would use a credit card because, again, Section 75 would protect you. So if something was to happen, you couldn't go on holiday or the tickets never arrived because the company went bankrupt that you bought them from, you'd be covered by Section 75. Hopefully you've got those answers right. If you have, then you understand these different sources of finance. Hopefully that has helped you. If you're still unsure, watch the video back and make sure you subscribe before remembering to keep buzzing.